I thought we'd both sort of talk about a team that's on the rise and I think could surprise people. Why don't you start it off? You going to take Portland in this one?
I am. And it's
All
not.
right.
Some people might say I'm not going out on too much of a limb. They made the playoffs last year as the sixth
Sure.
seed, lost in the first round to Dallas. So I guess in some ways I'm playing this one a little bit conservatively. But look at their starting lineup. Raymond Felton, a guy who I'm very high on.
I love
really
Felton.
like Raymond Felton.
Love him.
I was, being a Knick fan, remarkably disappointed when they did trade him last year. Obviously, they had to get Carmelo Anthony. I wasn't disappointed with the end result of getting Carmelo Anthony. I was hoping that there was a way that you could get Carmelo Anthony and not give up Raymond Felton. Look, this is a guy that's a really good defensive point guard. He is a pass-first guy.
Yep.
And he can also score.
He can.
I mean, what more do you want out of the starting point guard spot? This is a guy that's a very solid player. You have an emerging shooting guard in Wesley Matthews, who I think has really exceeded expectations coming out of Marquette. You have Gerald Wallace, who so far through a couple games has looked very, very good. LaMarcus Aldridge has blossomed into one of the best big men in the NBA. And then Marcus Camby, as long as he can stay healthy, he still has the longest arms of any human being I've ever seen and can alter shots, plays great defense.
He's old, though. He's old.
He's old. He's old. He's not going to give you
like as old as
35
we
minutes
are, so, or maybe he's older than we are, which means he really can't ball.
He's been in the league for a while.
He can. He's still got a little bit left. I agree.
I like their bench. I like Nolan Smith, the rookie out of Duke. I think is going to be a very solid player. Loved watching him in college. This is a team that has put a lot of the right pieces in place. I think getting Felton was huge. A lot of people really, for reasons that I don't know, undervalue Raymond Felton. And I think that you're going to see a team that might make a push this season, to get into the top 5 of the Western Conference. Obviously, they're 2-0 so far. It's easy to say that. They'll have some defensive issues potentially at the 2 and the 3 position with Matthews, and is Gerald Wallace going to be the guy that can give you night in night out contributions? He's shown flashes of greatness in the NBA. He just hasn't done it truly consistently, and of course he's been traded a lot. But anyway. I'm high on Portland, Matt. That's my team, who I think might not catch people off guard since they were the 6th seed in the playoffs last year. But I think that they have the potential to maybe even get a 4th seed in the playoffs.
Well, you didn't talk much about LaMarcus Aldridge, did you? I mean, he's the guy, right? He's the guy. That's the guy that's going to take them. I mean, because that's the worry, right? I mean, because they weren't sure who was going to carry the scoring load. I don't know that Jared Wallace is going to be able to carry the scoring load, but LaMarcus Aldridge, that's a good young player. And he's so physical in the post. There's not a lot of good matchups defensively for LaMarcus Aldridge. So I hear you there. And Felton, I don't know. I mean, I'm really high on him. I feel like you can say that he hasn't gotten his due. He was the guy in New York, right? I think that Mike D'Antoni was ready to put his faith in Felton, and they had to get rid of him because they had to cut the team, basically. And then he ran into a situation in Denver where there was already a point guard there. So it's kind of like, he just didn't fit there, in that system. So this could be perfect for him. And LaMarcus Aldridge has been looking so good lately that I hear you. I totally hear you with Portland. But can they put together a full season of this?
Yeah,
we'll have to see.